Welcome to another edition of In Conversation here on Rock Show Critique. Today's special guests are from Scream Taker, and we'll let Mr. Vinny Appice introduce everybody here.
Hey, this is Vinny Appice, and I'm here with a brand new band called Scream Taker. We have Jim Crean, who's below me, Stephen Hound, who's that way on guitar and vocals, and Jim on vocals, and Steph on keyboards too, and Lee, who did the artwork for the album. And the album comes out on Friday, and it's a great album. It's in the vein of Sabbathy and Dio, and just heavy, dark, and some of it's scary. And that's the stuff I love to play. So I love playing with these guys, and this is a new project that we hope to get going real quick. So.
All right. So how did it all come together? How did the nucleus of this whole project get formed?
Jim?
Steph and myself were during COVID. Me and him were, me and Steph and Vinny, we all have a long history together. So during COVID, Steph and I, Steph worked on my last record and the London Fog record with Vinny as well. So during COVID, we just we had a lot of time on our hands, right? So we just started writing songs together. Steph would send me music ideas, riffs, and whatnot, and then I would start coming up with melodies. And after we did that on a couple songs, me and Steph both agreed we got to bring Vinny into this because this is right up his alley. So once I shot it over to Vinny, Vinny went, "Yeah, this is my stuff. I love it." So the next thing you know, we just started writing songs, and we wrote enough for a whole record.
Yeah,
shopped it, got a really good deal with Deco Entertainment, and here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. Right.
And we didn't even come face to face with each other either.
Right.
This is one of those albums. There's actually some good things that happened while COVID was taking over the world. People looked for another way to make music or another way to perform, and so many things came out of it. But glad it's over with.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
We love playing live. I mean, and that's the ultimate goal with this band is to get out. I think we're gonna. I mean, we don't know what it's gonna sound like live yet because we haven't done it live together. But I think just based on the songs, I can hear these songs very powerfully done live. So I think that's the three of our ultimate goal, out in front of people and have them hear it live.
All right. So how did you meet everybody? Let's start with how you guys came across Lee for all the stuff that he did with the album here.
The label found Lee. I mean, they've been working with, and Lee will get into that with Deco Entertainment, Charlie over at Deco. Once we had the cover done by Jeff Berry. So the cover idea was done, and I sent it over to him. I said, I think we're all sold on this cover idea, but we want to have the whole album look kind of horror, 60s, 50s, 60s horror, sci-fi. And he goes, I got the perfect guy. So he sent it over to Lee, and then we did a three-way Skype type thing like this, me, Charlie, and Lee. And Lee started coming up with ideas, and I fell in love with him instantly. I said, this guy's right, exactly what we want to accomplish. And Lee, take it from there.
So yes, I've been working with Deco for probably 2-3 years now since initially they started. Numerous artists, and then this one came along, and the first track that I got sent was "Curse of the Werewolf." And I thought, oh, this is very, very Hammer British horror movie related. I thought, yeah, I can literally get my teeth sunk into this, no pun. And then we came up with the idea of, well, it seems movie related. So we came up with a back cover for an actual movie outside cinema setting with all various posters and related stuff to link in with the Scream Taker as a starting point. And then Charlie Calv, who works at Deco Entertainment, came up with the booklet idea, which is like a DVD booklet. And we just threw loads and loads and loads of ideas at it to relate to the B movie Hammer related type theme that we have now. And it all just really came together really well based on the initial cover that we had of the three screaming ladies. and we just pulled all these ideas together. And the initial Zoom meeting, I think, set us in a good stead to actually come up with really something exciting and useful and in your face, basically, really good.
All right.
Me, Vinny, and Steph are real big 50s and 60s horror sci-fi.
I'm a big
junkies.
I'm a big fan of Vincent Price.
Yeah, well, so are mine. So is Vinny.
Got a great name too, Vincent.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. That's my middle name, so I can agree with you. That's my middle name. So so that way we kicked out around ideas, and me and Steph were always back and forth saying it's got to be a cool sci-fi as we were throwing ideas. So I got Vinny involved, and I said we should come up with something really cool album cover. And he goes, well, let's not make it your typical metal looking album cover like everybody else does, because that people they're expecting that. So then Vinny started sending me pictures of these 50s screaming girl type things, and Vin, go ahead, you're finish
Well,
that
I
up.
sent him to Jim. I thought this is probably a cool idea, a cool direction. What do you think? And as Jim said, it was definitely something a little different than the normal metal demon on the cover. It's not really metal; it's heavy, really heavy rock. This album.
Yeah.
And so I sent it to Jim. He liked it. I think he sent it to Stefan, and then Lee got involved, and then it all came together. It's great.
Yeah,
Lee did a great job. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's very catchy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Steph always says, Steph, I don't speak for you, Steph, but you have said this to me many times. If you go into a record store, if there is any left, but if you go into a record store, you're going to buy an album based.
What record store?
Exactly right. I just showed
There's
you
some
my.
left in France.
I showed you my. Oh, there's some in France, and coming to the States, you won't find any. But so you go into a music store, and you grab an album you look at an album cover that grabbed you. If you just have a black album cover, you're not gonna. Although I shouldn't say that AC/DC sold millions of records with the black album cover, but if you see a really cool art looking album cover, you're gonna grab it whether you like the music or not, or even never heard of the band, right? Steph, we've always talked about that.
Yeah. Mm.
And it's something you'd buy just to check it out.
Yeah, a classic example would be the Dio albums, the Holy Diver and the Last in Line. You see those great album covers, and it stood out in attention.
Well, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I've done back in the days.
I thought the Holy Diver cover was a masterpiece. Just like says it all, and the colors and just the whole way it came out. So.
And to top it off, the music is just phenomenal on those two albums. Those are definitely my favorite two Dio albums out of the whole lot of them.
Yeah, that was kick ass. It was definitely on. We were on fire at that point. Yeah, it's cool. Thank you.
Yep. So going back, Jim, obviously you've worked with Vinny a lot in the past. For those like outside of Western New York who might not know, how did you guys all meet and get the connection with you and Vinny and obviously Carmine and everything?
Vinny will tell that story.
Well, Carmine and I do a show called the Appice Brothers or the Peace Brothers or Appice. Steph.
Steph calls it Appice.
That's the French version.
We play there's two drum sets on stage, and we set them up in the front of the stage, and the bass amp and the guitar amps are behind us, and the singer would be in front of us as well. So we had a gig booked in where was that, Jim?
Either Rochester, Niagara Falls, or Buffalo. One of the three. I can't remember.
Okay. So we used to fly in and have a band that usually, if it's different places, a different band in each place, which was a pain in the ass because you couldn't really get it that tight. We'd rehearse the day before or during sound check. And one gig we came up, got to sound check, and then I saw this guy with kind of long black hair. It was Jim. Oh man, this guy looks evil. This might be good. So we met. That's when we met, and Jim knocked it out of the park that night, and it was a good gig. The band actually sounded good, and that's how we met Jim. And then we asked Jim if he wanted to do more gigs with us. So he wound up doing mostly all the gigs that we do together with Carmine and I. So we became really close. Now we're really good friends, and played on his album. We've done other things together. So it's like part of the family. And Steph, a couple of years back, he did his one of his albums, and I don't know how you found me,
Who
but
knows?
I played on his album, and we did it via file transfers, all that stuff. And then I played on 2 of his albums. And I love the way Steph plays. I love the way he writes, and he goes to some weird chords that nobody else goes to. I love that stuff. Strange places he goes to, and it makes it heavy. It makes it dark. So that's how we all met, pretty much. I don't know how you guys met, him and Steph.
I think through you somehow.
Oh,
I
really?
don't remember because
I
it's
don't
been
either, but it was a while ago, and Steph and I became, like I said, we became really close.
yeah, because we talk all the time, and I don't even remember the first time we met.
I mean, nor do I.
know, yeah. It's crazy, right?
Nor do I. But we connected instantly, and I think he played on a Hollywood Monsters track with him, a band Steph was in, and then he started. Then I said, well, why don't you play on my stuff? And then before you know it, me and him were just, I mean, we were writing crazy, like every day.
Yeah.
For years, and now it's been like a long time we've known each other, and we became really good friends and really close, as Vinny said before, and I'm really close with Vinny and Carmine as well. So it's a lot. It's much more fun when you write with people that you like and you enjoy working with, because it just shows in the music, I think. As opposed to writing a song with someone you really don't know, and it just becomes a job. And I've done that in the past. But this project, it was fun because it was like we're all a family, so it really felt fun.
Yeah, and there was no pressure, no nothing. So
Right.
Yeah.
just
And like Vinny said, I love the way Steph comes up with these really different chords that you wouldn't expect. They're not like chords that you go, okay, he's gonna go over to the B, and then your typical standard arrangements. It's not, it doesn't happen that way. And Vinny's really good at arranging songs as well. So and I think that's what the success with Dio was, man. We always talk about this, how you wouldn't expect it to go to a certain spot, and you go, oh,
Yeah.
that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of doing something 4 times, maybe do it 3 times.
yeah.
Come in to go to the pre-chorus or something. You do the unexpected. Ronnie always said, do the unexpected when you can. And it made sense, Otherwise, you sit there, you go, oh, I know they're going to go to the chorus, and instead of going to chorus, it goes to something else, maybe a short pre-chorus for 2 or 3 bars, something odd, and then into the chorus. So keeps the attention span usually of the listener.
Yeah.
It makes them listen to it again, because they go, wow, that was weird
that
how
was
it
cool.
went.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna check that out again. How did he do that? And before you know it, repetition always,
And I do a lot of crazy fills where no fills have been before. Play all over.
You do, but you
But
don't
I
step
feel
on
it.
the
I'm
vocal.
not just playing that shit. I feel that stuff,
But you don't step on the vocal, and that's what I love about you, because you can do all that crazy shit, but if you step on a vocal, it sounds weird. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You play in
Ronnie
between the
never
vocal.
said, don't play over my vocal,
Right.
I played with somebody else. I won't mention names, and we were thinking of doing something, and he goes, you played over my vocal. And I said, so?
Yeah.
What? Ronnie and I did it all the time. Jim and I do it all the time. And it builds it sometimes,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's cool.
I got to feel it. I don't just want to play over the vocal ones. I feel the songs,
Well, sometimes when you do that, I'll get, my initial demo or whatever, and I send it to you, and you do something like that. I go, oh man, that was really cool. And then I change my vocal to that.
Yeah.
And we've done that a few times. We did that on Feel the Beautiful, where I said to Steph, I go, oh, I like what Vinny did on that. Like, you accented on a couple things. I said, I'm going to actually hit a higher note on that accent, which I did.
Right.
And it changed the whole dynamics of the song to the point where I went, shit, I can't hear it any other way.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll even follow the guitar solos, sometimes
Yeah.
guitar, right, with Steph. I listen to everything. I don't
Me
play
too.
on top of the song. I play underneath in the song, always have. Otherwise, everybody, it's easy to play on top of songs. It's harder to get into that song and see what the vibe is and all that shit, you know. And that's why I love playing the Steph's chords and his riffs and things like that, and Jim singing. It's inspiring, you know, which is important.
Plus,
Yeah.
Steph is multi-instrument. He played bass on the record.
Yeah,
And-
and I love the plain bass on the album.
And that just came out of necessity, because initially I said to Steph, I go, okay, we got these kick-ass tunes, and he demoed off on bass. And I said, who are we gonna get on bass? Well, Steph said, who do you want to get for bass? So we kicked around some ideas, and I asked Vinny. And then I said to Vinny, I said, I think Steph did a kick-ass job on these songs bass-wise. And Vinny goes, leave them. They're in the pocket. Everything's great.
Yeah.
He's the bass player on this. And that's only the reason why we kept the bass in, because he did such a good job on it. Otherwise, we would have had someone do the bass.
Right.
We could have had Lee do the bass.
Lee's
I'll come
going
and
to do
join
the
you.
bass. Lee's
I'll
going to
come
do the
and join
bass.
you.
You got the new video out here with Stone Cold. How did that all come about? With that, I see you got a lot of Buffalo people in it.
Well, that's how it came about. Robbie from the Goo Goo Dolls does that Music is Art, as you know, Joe.
Mhm.
And he asked us to do a video because it was to promote it. So I reached out to Vinny and Steph, and we had already recorded Stone Cold. Well, we just recorded it, but we didn't mix it or anything like that. So that version on that, well, we used the initial version of that was not mixed or anything. And I called these guys up and said, hey, just film some parts. I'm going to make a video for Stone Cold. Not really telling what it was for, because I really didn't know what it was for. And then we did it with a haunted house type theme with Joe Palumbo filmed it. And then Vinny, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly what it was for, but Jim said, well, let's do this video, and it's they're going into some haunted looking place, and it's going to be in that kind of theme. So it came out really cool. It's like a campy B movie, horror movie, or C movie even. And there's a lot of people in Buffalo in it. And it fits the song, you know, and we weren't trying to be anything, but let's just have a good time. And that's what that video is. And people seem to like it, you know, something different. So it's not the usual video of the band playing and all that shit, you know. So
Right.
What's your thoughts on it, Steph? I really never asked you about that.
That was fun because we had to play in front of a green screen. So, like we said, I didn't know what was going on. You told me just play. Okay, I'm going to play. And people often ask me, they ask me, oh yeah, you went to the US to do this video. I said no, it was in my living room.
yeah, we never left our house.
No, never.
Well, Joe Palumbo did such a good job on it. Got to give him props for that, because he made it look like we were all in that same haunted house. So he filmed the background for the haunted house, but these guys were on green screen. But he did such a nice job on it that we looked like we were in the same room.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a little mini movie, like Vinny said once before. It's like a mini movie. It's a bad movie, like a bad C movie, but it's like a mini little horror movie. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right. So that song "Stone Cold" definitely has a very dark feel to it. Does that pretty much how the rest of the album is, or is there a little bit of a different variation as you go to song?
Steph, you answer that one.
No, it's pretty dark, except for a couple of songs, if I remember. There's one ballad, one slow song, some Led Zeppelin-ish tunes as well, with these words that you speak.
Oh yeah, that's kind of Zeppelin.
Yeah, and I think it's a mix between the old Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and Zeppelin.
Yeah, it's a journey through dark and heavy.
Yeah,
And
Love it.
not really any ballads on there. I don't play ballads.
yeah. And the good thing is, like, we did record with real amps, real drums, a real singer, because nowadays everybody's playing with fake drums like electronic kits and everything. I
Yeah.
can't stand that. That's not rock and roll.
The sound of the album sounds great too. Artie Dillon produced it, and he's a guitar player we play with for the brothers Carmine and Vinny show. And so he got just great sounds on everything, you know. And the drums are real. I did them here, and there's very little effects on them.
It's
So they
natural.
really, sometimes the toms are ringing a little bit. You know, I hit the tom, boom, real raw. You know, it's got this raw sound on the whole album, which is cool. You know, it's got a great sound to it.
And modern. It's got that old Sabbath Dios
Yeah.
musically, but it's got a real modern sound to it. Like Steph said, like the vocals are pretty up in your face. The drums are real raw. The guitar's real raw.
Yeah, there's no effects, no nothing.
No effects. We went pretty straightforward, and that's what sounds real modern.
And as I always say, when you crank it way up, it sounds amazing, even more amazing.
Yes. All right. So you talked about possibly taking this show on the road here. What's the plan here?
Then,
Well, you're ahead of me on that.
well, I mean, we have some offer. We have a good offer in South America that we're going to explore. We're just trying to make the logistics work on that financially, but I mean the dates are there. What's their buddy's name and from Sun Road stuff?
Fred Mika.
Was it
Fred.
Oh, Fred
Yeah,
Micah. Yeah, Fred Micah is really doing a great job putting that together. Really nice guy. Plays with Steph in another band, but real nice guy. So he's working on that for us. I have a couple really good shows lined up in LA and in Vegas, and then I have an East Coast swing. So that I have a promoter from New York City that wants us to run the whole East Coast. So they want us, and it's funny because initially, like me and Vinny said in a couple of these interviews, let's just get the record out and we'll just see where it goes. Well, it's going to be out on Friday, and the response we're getting on this thing is ridiculous. Everybody wants to book the band, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be definitely. It sounds like if we can pull it, if you guys pull that off, it's definitely going to be a show that's going to be what people want to see. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Any last other things you want to bring up about the whole project at all, and any other things you want to mention about it?
I just want to give a shout out to and Charlie from Deco has really gotten behind this project. He couldn't be here with us today, but like I said, the artwork with Lee is unbelievable. So if you're into old school, getting that album and staring at the album while you listen to it and flipping through the book and all that, this is the album, because I'm gonna do that when I get my copy. I'm gonna stare at it like I did when I was 10 years old looking at an album. You know what I mean? It's got all that. Album sounds amazing, and it's out on Deco Entertainment.
You could smoke a joint and put the cover in front of you and out.
Yeah, like the old days.
Definitely old school. Definitely old school. With the booklet, I mean, the booklet's got the lyrics in there as well, and it's got various images. It's all linked in with the theme throughout. So it's a really good theme, really good album, and heavy as hell. Oh yes.
All right.
The way Vinny likes it, heavy.
Yeah.
Now you guys won't be disappointed. I think this is going to be funny because
so it's going to be out Friday, right? So
Friday, yeah, it drops on Friday, and it's worldwide, so it's distributed throughout the world, so you can get it pretty much anywhere. You can get music these days.
What day is Friday? The 23rd.
Yeah, 23rd.
23rd.
A couple days away.
Yep.
Yeah.
The four of us haven't even gotten copies of it yet, so I think I did talk to Charlie, and he's dropping them all in the mail for all four of us to get our copies. Yeah.
Of course, I won't be here, but
Vinny's going. Oh, that's another thing. Tell him about your tour, Vin. You're going out with Les Line.
Well, I'm going out. We leave on Thursday. We go out to do 5 shows with Last in Line. Then we come back, little break. Then we do a bunch of shows, couple shows in California, 3 shows, and then in November we got about 12 shows. So a lot of stuff going on for me. So I'm starting to run out of time as usual. So, and this is exciting that this is coming out. Looking forward to it, and it's going to be good.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I thank you for your time, and good luck with the album release. Can't wait to hear the whole album. It definitely sounds like something that's definitely going to be, definitely what people want to hear. That's for sure.